Um, Off and on. I wouldn't say as a nightly affair because there were so many meetings going on, and we had some specific areas of responsibility, and they were overlapping in some cases. I'm trying to recall if I made them. I'm just not sure.
It doesn't matter. It's just that at a couple of those strategy meetings right before he was killed, there was a Baptist minister who had a dream that he shouldn't.
Oh, Reverend Jordan,
yeah.
if I recall, indicated that he had a dream. I'm not sure whether it was this.
Did you hear about that before he was killed, or?
No, no, I didn't hear about it before.
Yeah.
It was afterwards when I was told about it, I think.
Yeah. Okay, then on the day that Dr. King was killed, do you recall that day at all?
Oh, yeah.
Could you give us a quick run-through on that?
Yeah, we were planning, naturally planning for the big meeting at Mason Temple, that night. I mean, it was really being billed as best we could, and the weather, as I recall, wasn't too great that day. So we were trying to make sure that we had a good crowd, and that, Dr. King would be able to have the feeling that there was lots of support and they could, carry on. So we had to spend the biggest part of the day mobilizing people, doing workshops with the marshals who were getting set up for the march, the sanitation employees who were going to act as a supplemental force to the marshals.
You know, something we've never had, and if you don't, I'm going to interrupt you, I think would be interesting. When you say you were giving instruction to the marshals, what kind of instructions?
Well, as to how, to handle the crowd, where we wanted the crowd kept.
Well, where and how?
Well, for instance, we could anticipate the size, and we wanted to make sure that they were going to be in the middle of the street and away from the sidewalks. We had instructed that we didn't want anybody on the sidewalks who were participating in the march to any degree or another, and that they were to keep a particular eye out for anybody taking any actions on the sidewalks and to
Oh, I see. You mean this was in preparation for the march that was to be Monday. I thought you were talking about the meeting.
No, this is for the march, because we were anticipating a tremendous number of people.
Yeah, but in spite, I mean, even though the injunction was that you felt there was going to be a march in any case.
Oh, we were going to march, no question about it.
Yeah.
In addition,
well, I interrupted you. I'm sorry, and about that day, and so when did I guess you were busy then, just mobilizing people and so on.
This was basically it, and also since there undoubtedly was some fear among people to march again after the first thing, this had to be overcome. We were doing a lot of workshops with singing groups, and just just mobilizing. I think you could sum it up. And also concentrating some attention on that night's meeting too. And we had planned a meeting with Dr. King's staff later on in the evening at the Lorraine Motel.
That was to be after the meeting at Mason Temple.
Now this was to be before the meeting at Mason Temple, and then we had planned to get back together with him again after the meeting. And this was...
That would be the staff, those who weren't going to the Reverend Kyle's.
Right. Right. Now, we didn't know who was going to Reverend Kyle's, but we had set up a meeting with Andy and Jim Bevel. And this was always almost an informal thing. There was a meeting every evening to go over points and things, although they hadn't been in town an awful long time. Some of their other staff had been here working all the time with the school kids. So, later on in the evening, I suppose just prior to 6 o'clock, if I recall, that was I'm not sure whether it was the evening of the national broadcast of Johnson's speech. And I'm not sure, but there was something that kept us glued to the television. And
now Johnson's speech was Sunday night, 31st.
Maybe it was a newscast, but there was something that kept us. We were up in the conference room.
Probably the 5 o'clock now. The news.
Yeah.
whatever it was. Anyhow, we stayed there until approximately 6 o'clock.
Who's wait?
Reverend Middlebrook, Jesse Epps, Dr. Jackson, and two other people. I can't remember who they were, but there was a good sized crowd. But as far as the people who would normally be traveling in the same direction, and then I think we heard the sirens first, and didn't really pay much attention to them because there were all kinds of things going on about that time.
You were at the,
We were at the minimum
salary building.
And we were getting ready to go to the Lorraine Motel, and we heard the siren and didn't think much of it. And then somebody, just immediately after that, almost came in and said that they had heard over the radio that Dr. King had been shot. Well, it was a very short span of time, so we got in Dr. Jackson's car and headed for the Lorraine Motel.